From the dawn of history, man has reported visitors from other planets. In ancient societies, they were feared. In pagan societies, they were revered as gods. But in modern times, we've tried to ignore them. Do they continue their visits? Have they reached out to us? Are they in fact in league with the governments of the earth, even as we speak? These questions and more will be answered on Volume 1 of UFO Investigations, The Cover-Up. And now your hosts, True Hawkins and Joan Piercy.
Hello, we're UFO Investigations. I'm True Hawkins, and this is Research Associate Jody Piercy.
Hello.
Our continuing job is to bring information to you from recently acquired government documents acquired through the Freedom of Information Act and information from civilian investigators. It's our continuing goal to compile and bring you information as it becomes available. Now, this first video report will serve as a rather broad overview and history of investigations starting right after World War II. Now, to begin with, do UFOs and extraterrestrial beings exist? Well, Jody has a group of government documents that would certainly lead one to believe that this is the case. Jody?
Thank you, True. Our first set of documents to review are very interesting. The first, letter from General Nathan Twining, Commander, Air Material Command, September 23rd, 1947. The subject, opinion of the Commander, Air Material Command, on flying discs. Documents show that the flying discs were starting to be examined by certain factions in the military who apparently had been aware of the discs for some time. Document shows that the discs were real and not someone's imagination. Document shows that General Twining decided not to tell about the disc crashes that had started to occur with the subsequent recovery of both alien bodies and the bodies of Army Air Force pilots. The document illustrates that the RAND Corporation had a very early involvement with the subject. The letter was written in the same time period that President Truman decided to establish a separate effort to deal solely with the alien problem. The second document, also a government document, dated 1950, has 4 points that are very, very much along the lines of what we've been talking about. 1, the matter is the most highly classified subject in the United States government, rating higher even than the H-bomb. B, flying saucers exist. C, their modus operandi is unknown, but concentrated effort is being made by a small group headed by Dr. Vannevar Bush, one of the original MJ-12 members. And D, the entire matter is considered by the United States authorities to be of tremendous significance. This document went to interagencies throughout the U.S. and Canada. Fascinating reading.
Now, what about UFO sightings? Let's take a look at some video and still pictures. You be the judge. That was just a small example of the thousands of sightings reported over the last few years. We do need to apologize for the quality of some of the pictures and video you saw. They were shot unexpectedly, some with home equipment, and in many cases under adverse conditions at night or clouds. Now, in many cases, research material arrived at our offices from unknown origins, totally unidentified. In certain cases, the sender specifically requested to remain anonymous. For instance, a government document, or presidential memo, if you will, from President Truman to President-elect Eisenhower. Jody, give us details of this famous Truman document.
As you have pointed out, True, information about UFOs and aliens oftentimes surfaces totally anonymously. The Truman document, for instance, dated 1952. It's a briefing document for Eisenhower from President Truman. It involves discussion of the Majestic 12, the Roswell crash, sightings in 1947 over Mount Rainier, and this particular document arrived in an unmarked envelope at the home of a noted UFO researcher in 1987. The pages were recorded on 8 exposures of 35mm film.
Much of the information that we receive actually comes from government employees and undercover civilian investigators. These people feed information and in many cases lead investigators to classified material recently made available through the Freedom of Information Act. Now, these undercover employees and investigators have their own reasons for not coming forward. Sometimes they fear ridicule. Sometimes they fear they'll lose their job. Sometimes they're even afraid for the safety of themselves and their families. In most cases, it appears to us, as we did our research, that it's a cry for help in solving a problem they see as being very serious.
As we compiled this and up-and-coming video reports, we were so impressed of the caliber of people